Paul Skeens. Coverage will start at 12:34. First pitch is going to be at 1:10. You can hear that game right here on Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
All right, guys, this is it. Home stretch. 2 weeks left for Best of Madison voting. We are so Madison. They even got streets named after us.
Love, Golf, and Darnold are unique names. Williams is a very generic name.
Almost as generic as Brown. I totally understand.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Jim and Molly, Best of Madison!
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime Waller shine behind the glass. Molly Brown disappeared off the YouTube stream here on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. We back, Molly?
I think so.
What happened?
My mic was unplugged underneath the desk here.
Yeah, that'll happen from time to time over there.
Tech Molly had to step in for a second.
I like that Molly and Matt are both wearing Bucks gears today.
Unplanned.
Matt, where is that that Giannis jersey?
China.
50 years
Okay.
ago.
One, I'm like, I've never seen a jersey.
It didn't handle the wash as well
It
as
did
you would
not.
think a jersey for $5 at the Pearl Market in China would.
It's also like, like when okay, I know you guys know what I'm going to say. So, when guys wear like the dingy white undershirt, and then it's like the collar's all like wrinkly because,
bacon collar.
Yeah, you got bacon collar going
Yeah, you got
on
bacon
there.
collar. Yeah, Matt, I'll be honest. This is borderline unacceptable clothing to wear into a workplace.
What are you talking about? Pat McAfee does it all the time.
He doesn't go into a workplace. He goes into his own studio. Like
This isn't our studio?
There is.
Who else runs a show out of the
The
studio?
Everlight Solar Studio is in the Spark Building. ESPN Madison is in the Spark Building. There are people selling and making $1 million deals out there. You are in the AmFam building. Like you
I'm
had
a
to
little
walk
uncomfortable that I can see your armpit hair.
Okay,
It's not great. It's not a great. It's fine, Matt. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
It is hot out, guys, okay?
We're in an air-conditioned studio.
Yeah, well, I'm a volleyball hater.
Oh, there we go. There we go. And you couldn't wear a shirt. Like other human beings who have real
shirt, but
jobs.
it's also a cutoff.
It's like, right? People who have jobs also play like volleyball,
Yep.
and then they just wear regular clothes to
And
their
they
jobs.
change.
And then, yes.
I highly recommend winning a gold medal. Then you can wear a basketball jersey to work.
You remember when curling Maddie Hamilton went into Canada and said, "This is our game now"? You remember that?
You remember that?
Why? Wait, what's the backstory? Why did Pat McAfee talk about you?
Oh, he had me on the show, and then like right after the Olympics in 18, and then there was some.
I believe
callback.
this
is
after
recent.
the hockey thing when the USA beat
There you
Canada in
go.
like a hockey.
There you
Gotcha.
All right, Molly Brown rocking her Bucks championship T-shirt.
Got to rep the champs.
And I'm rocking my Coors Light shirt because, Coors Light made the chill. The Oklahoma City Thunder took longer than I thought, but they won the title. And that's not what everyone is exclusively talking about today. We are going to get to OKC winning the title and the East and how the Bucks can be the team that could shock the world like Indianapolis did this year. Nobody thought the Pacers were going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Bucks, I don't even want to say arguably, unquestionably have the best player in the East. And so we'll get to their chances. But I want to get to Matt Hamilton. He's had some strong text message takes here, Molly. And we're going to have people chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carl was Talking text line. This is more. Matt, you've been kind of beating the drum a little bit on the air last Wednesday. I think you're wrong on this, but mainly for me, I think you're wrong in the idea that Tyrese Halliburton had no other option but to play based on his legacy. And I don't know the math on this. I don't know if we can figure it out. But for the Pacers to play in the NBA Finals is almost, I think, a more rare opportunity than you having the opportunity to curl in the Olympics.
I bet you're right.
And so, like, if you had the chance to curl in the Olympics, like, you're going to kind of do almost anything to get out there.
Right.
So go.
And that's kind of like the issue, right? That's kind of my whole point. I'm, as far as, like, being a competitor is concerned, I'd be in the same boat as Tyrese Halliburton. If I was a little bit injured with a calf strain and they were like, Matt, we can make sure it feels good enough so you can go out and play, I'd say, let's go. Let's do that. Exactly what Tyrese Halliburton did. That said, it's kind of on the trainer to make sure that they're not a liability to themselves. So here's my argument, and it was after Game 5. Game 5, I believe, was the calf strain.
Correct.
Game 6 went out, looked pretty good. Like, he didn't really look that hampered by it, right? He had 14 points, was a key factor, dishing the ball. Like, Halliburton had a good game. The point that I'm making is I think, and we can all agree, especially everyone who watched the Brett Favre era, like, if you take a shot, they take you back to the locker room, they're going to give you something, and you're going to be able to go back out and play. When you take ibuprofen or something of the like that is going to help your body not feel pain, which is your body saying, hey, I can't do this. And then he tried to make a big cut the same way Dame did, and he lost his Achilles. Plain and simple. And I think by playing Game 6, adding extra wear and tear to a calf strain, but not feeling it because you had the training staff help you out, that there could have been more wear and tear on it. And obviously he came to a breaking point, no pun intended, that he was unable to finish that game. And now he's might have sacrificed all of next year.
Yeah, so 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. This is more. Who applies the most amount of pressure to themselves, to athletes, as far as getting them to play? Is it the trainer/team? Is it the player? Is it media? Or is it fans? 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. This is more. That's our Saturday Unlimited poll question. Dame had blood clots. Now, we had Dr. Nestor Rodriguez from Carbon World Health on, and he talked about how the blood clots really would have no real direct effect on his calf muscle, and then the Achilles being blown out in the calf muscle, outside of maybe conditioning. But I would imagine he's pretty close to conditioned. He didn't miss a ton of time, and they were
like a month and a half,
and they were having him do other things. I don't think it was that long. And then because they caught it super early, and then they were having him be able to like stay active. And at this point, you played almost a whole season. It's not like coming in off the off season. You're pretty conditioned. So. But then you have Kevin Durant, who blew out his Achilles against in the NBA Finals. He
also had calf soreness.
Thank you. More than calf soreness, he missed time and came back from a calf injury to play in that game and blew out his Achilles. Look, Klay Thompson never made it back. I believe he had an ACL injury and then blew out his Achilles. It could have been the other way around. But either way, he missed a ton of time. And then, obviously, Jason Tatum, no calf issue, but has... So this year, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, and Dame Lillard, all major players with major Achilles injuries, all different circumstances. But 844-770-3776, Carl was talking text line. This is more. Who applies the most pressure for a player to play? Is it the trainer/team, the player, media, or fans?
I mean, it was all very similar in the way that they each did it, though, right? Like, none of them were doing anything crazy. They were mostly just reaching for the ball. But Matt, I'm curious because, like, what if, and we don't know how he felt. I know you said that, like, he looked good and all that in the last couple games and whatever, but, like, what if he felt perfectly fine? What if he wasn't getting shot up with anything? What if he was literally like, oh, yeah, like, I'm a little bit tight, but, hey, I'm also in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Hey, we've been through, God, how many playoff games did they even play? Do we know what number they all went into for each series that the Pacers had?
They had won 15 games by that point. I think they were well over 20. I think maybe like 24 total games.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing max intensity time and time again.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, who knows how much I know we're all complaining that we wish that the games were only 2 days apart. Some days they were 3 days, some days they were 4 days, whatever it was. Who knows how much that can affect your body, too?
21 playoff games.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, here's another point. And, again, I get it's the finals. Like, if I'm playing in that, I would want to be out there, too. It's kind of the trainer's job to protect you from you or protect the player from themselves. If this was the regular season, if they were in December, no way he's playing that game. If that was mid-season, right? Like, for what reason? We need to protect you so we can have you down the stretch, so we can have you next season. But once you make the playoffs, all that goes out the door.
Well, again, I don't think you're sitting someone earlier in the year to save them for the next season. It's like, and this is in every sport, there is this risk-reward balance of like, hey, Tyrese, you come out and play now. I'm sure this conversation was probably more like, hey, you come out and play. If this was a full regular season, you have to miss time because you can't play 82 games. You can play 3 more games on this without extra risk, in theory, to the injury. I'm guessing that was the calculation. And when you look at it, and we had a couple people chime in, 844-770-3776, and the car was talking text line. Robin Madison says, don't hate on Percocet. You can do what you got to do. Rick from DeForest says, it's way more on the player who wants to be out there to help his team and win a championship by far. Or it could be the owner of the club trying to make more money. It wouldn't be a money thing in this case.
No, they're already in the finals.
Yeah. But
also, if anything, you're kind of losing money because you're still paying the guy for next year, right? Even though he's not going to play.
True. I think
you might lose some tickets because Tyrese isn't going to play at all next year.
There's 2 different questions here, though, of you're trying to, as a trainer, you have that trust throughout. So I would imagine that Tyrese Halliburton, who's been on the Pacers for a few years, has that trust with the trainer.
Yeah.
The player is going to want to be out there, without a doubt.
100%.
The media is going to apply pressure because if you don't play, go ask Jay Cutler what happens when you tear your MCL and you go leave a game. Everyone buries you, and you never live down that moment. But
you almost have to have I'm not saying a calf strain's a real injury, but like Cutler had a real injury. If he sat out the rest of the game, they took an MRI and was like, hey, he has no MCL or whatever. He gets a little bit of a pass.
Well, they took him to the locker room and did the MCL, and they said you tore your MCL. You shouldn't be out there because you could blow out your whole leg. And for your point, we need you for other seasons. Like this, the risk isn't worth the reward because it's more likely you're going to blow out your knee than it is you're going to go out there and play great. And so you're going to have to sit. Now, in that case, Cutler's problem was 1, his bitter beer face, but 2, it is
beer face.
When he did it, he should have laid on the ground and gotten carted off the field. He walked off the field, sat on the bench, and then walked his way to the locker room to do the test. He was almost too tough that everyone said, "Oh, he's not that hurt."
Yeah, no, but if you get carted off, there's no way anyone's expecting you to come back.
Go ask Paul Pierce. Like Paul Pierce famously got carted off and came back to play 10 minutes later.
Well,
so
then if you do, Aaron Rodgers did, right? Against the Bears.
Yes.
Yep.
Came back in the second half.
When in doubt, go out on a cart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ayahuasca.
But because then it's more of who's responsible. Like we're asking who's more to blame, and I would put it on the. It's hard. I put it on the player because he is.
The player.
But who's to protect the player? It's the team.
Oh, totally, 100%. And that's where when you get to the finals like that, your best player wants to play, says he's feeling good enough to play. Like it's that trust that you're talking about is a two-way street. As a trainer, you can't know exactly how much that's hurting. You need to trust the player is going to give you honest feedback. So I'm not really necessarily blaming anybody. I'm not saying Tyrese Halliburton made the wrong move. There's no guarantee he ever makes it to a finals again. But that said, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to be 100% of the Tyrese Halliburton you were before you tore that Achilles.
But Matt, from a player's standpoint, right? Yeah. Have you ever had, since you've been a professional athlete, have you ever had an injury that has sidelined you?
No, but I've had a teammate who's had some troublesome elbow problems, and he kept trying to play. And granted, my situation, that one was a little different. He ended up probably not being as effective as a sweeper, which is pretty important in curling. Exactly. Thank you, Molly. And that's a detriment to the team. Like if Tyrese looked hobbled out there, you could have a fully able-bodied guy out there instead. So like that honestly was my argument Wednesday. Is that if he's not 100%, wouldn't you rather have somebody at 100 than a guy who's 70?
Well,
60?
basketball's different than different than curling, right? Like
I get that.
We've talked about having decoys. Couldn't Tyrese just be a decoy then? Because he's another really strong body out on the court.
100%.
Well,
absolutely could have been. That was my argument on Wednesday.
More
so.
And that argument, and you didn't know then, like that argument, and this is the case against being upset with anyone and just call it unfortunate.
Well, that's
he
really the end
He
of the...
played better after his injury because in game 5, he played 34 minutes, didn't make a field goal. The only points he got were off free throws. So then in game 6, he played 23 minutes as opposed to 34.
Was it 14 points?
He was 5 of 12, 14 points, and had 5 assists, 2 steals. Shot 43% from the field. He shot 0% from the field the game before. The game before that, he shot 14% from three-point land. So, like, he had been playing, so there's a lot of minutes he's been logging. And then in game 7, for 7 minutes, he was the best player on the court. And so, again,
So it made it worse.
It didn't make his actual play worse. So this is where it gets hard of, like, honestly, I think the only thing you take away from it is that teams might have to reevaluate how they view calf injuries, because I 1,000% agree that the trainer ran them through all the things, and all the data says, we've talked to Dr. Ness Rodriguez from Carbon World Health, that, like, hey, there's nothing specific that would cause an Achilles injury outside of the movement. You're not predisposed. You're not going to be more likely to have this problem. Mm-hmm. But now they might have to say, like, hey, for a calf injury, with these sort of highly tuned athletes, we might have to reevaluate how we look at a calf injury.
Yeah, I mean, this year there was 8 Achilles tears in the NBA, which is 3 more than the most ever recorded. And if you count Thanasis, and I believe there was like a kid working out for a team, that's 10.
Oof.
You almost doubled the Achilles tears in a season.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And 844-770-3776, Carl Talk text line. List is more. Siding limited poll question. Basically, who's the most to blame for a player feeling like they have to play through injury? Is it the trainer/team? Is it the player? Is it media? Or is it fans? You can chime in on that 844-770-3776. If you're watching on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, you can see my ball watch. If we turned off the lights in here, this watch might be enough to illuminate the entire studio.
It glows?
It does glow. All the numbers on there. It's not going to get dark enough in here. Maybe it will be. There you go. You can see a little bit of the glow. Matt Hamilton adding it with the I don't know what kind of crystals they are, but the actual numbers are kind of a crystal that, especially on a bright day like today, they are warmed up and ready to go. In fact, like when I can't wear this, like I usually wear a smartwatch to bed, but I can't wear this to bed because my wife will complain because it is like a blowtorch. Yeah, in the room. I mean, it is a blowtorch. It really is. It's like I got a flashlight. I got a flashlight in my eye in the middle of the night. I said, not now. I said, just a flashlight. So like, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler, Madison's family-owned jeweler. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $295 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Celebrate the red, white, and blue at the Bridges. On Sunday, June 29th, play a 2-person scramble for just $120 per person, including 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you've been seriously injured, you need a trusted team on your side. Gruber Law Offices is available 24/7 and will even come to you. Your first call is free. Your first visit is free. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
He's coming out, 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 he's coming out. It's there.
You guys have heard Jim Rutledge talk about Carbon World Health for the last few years now, and I'm so excited because I got my journey started at their brand new location in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center. A couple weeks ago, I got my hydrofacial done. I'm going to need to book my next one because they recommend 4 to 6 weeks between each session, so I got to get booked with that one with Ashley, but it was seriously the best experience. They walked me through every single step. They told me every single thing that they were doing to my face. My skin feels good. My skin feels healthy. My skin feels glowy. I love it. So if you're looking to get started on your beauty and wellness journey, head over to Carbon World Health in their brand new location in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center.
She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. Primetime will shine behind the glass. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. And we were asking, you can continue to chime in on this, 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. List is more. We were asking you basically who is to blame for a player feeling pressure to play through injury. Is it the trainer/team? Is it the player? Is it media? Or is it fans? The other side of this is, and listen to multiple podcasts, is that with, obviously, Dame going down hurts the Milwaukee Bucks' chances. Jason Tatum helps the Milwaukee Bucks' chances, him going down with an Achilles injury. Tyrese Halliburton going down with an Achilles injury helps the Milwaukee Bucks' chances. So it is kind of a weird time right now to be a Milwaukee Bucks fan because your roster is completely dispersed. I don't know if Lopez is going to come back, Bobby Portis. Pat Connaughton's coming back, but that's only because he knew he was not going to get $9 million from anyone else. So that speaks to his value in the league. And so maybe they bring back Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter. Like, these are not names that get you super excited, which means the Bucks' best asset could be Kyle Kuzma paired with like a 2031, their unprotected pick, or the pick that they own could go out, and they could try to get something done, to truly go all in.
Just
And
keep
before I'd be
pushing it
like,
off.
no, absolutely not. But now you got Cleveland. That's the only team I can say unquestionably is better than the Bucks.
Knicks?
No, I can't say for sure. When you have Giannis, who is unquestionably the best player in the Eastern Conference, top 3 player in all the league, like that is, and for me, I don't say the Knicks because they don't even have a coach.
Okay, but they still have Jalen Brunson.
I don't care. Jalen Brunson was not Jalen Brunson until Tom Thibodeau got the most out of him. Like Jalen Brunson is not in a. He's a very specific type of player. He is a 6'3" bully guard that needs a good system for him to be able to score. So you have to bring in a coach who's going to run this system. Thibodeau ran a system that had Derrick Rose, and you have the point guard and do all that. Like Jalen Brunson needs Thibodeau to get to this next level. I don't consider Jalen Brunson. He's far closer to Tyrese Halliburton than he is to Giannis, in my opinion.
And as of right now, we don't really know for sure who he's going to be playing with next year. I mean, the Knicks already fired Thibodeau. They might be moving guys out, moving
Cat could be gone.
else.
Cat's likely gone. And then you have, and the other part of it is the Knicks have a guy like Miles Bridges is a heck of a defender, and so is OG. But they're not. Mikal Bridges is a heck of a defender, so is OG. But they're not scorers in general. You got their offense is broken. When you watch it, it's like I got Jalen Brunson and nothing.
Okay, I would also take those supporting players versus who the Bucks have as supporting players.
True, but Giannis to me is head and shoulders above anyone else in the East. There's not a player that's close to Giannis.
That's just because Brunson's only 6'3".
But Giannis is it's not like Jalen Brunson is a all-star player. Giannis is an MVP multiple times. Giannis is a upper echelon player. This is like the discussion between Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love.
But here's the thing that you love to say is Giannis is the outlier.
Yep.
He is not the standard, right?
Right.
So you can say that he's better than how many players, of course, but also in the grand scheme, we look at him, we can say how many teams are better than the Bucks, even though they don't have a Giannis level player.
Well, and this is where I want to get to the question: is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks finals contenders from the East? 844-770-3776. That's our second siding limited poll question. Is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks a final contending team from the East? And a lot of it comes back to John Horst. Because there are trades out there that the Bucks do have. So, a little bit of example. I'm going to try to make this as palatable as possible. Chris Middleton, good for him, took his $33 million option. That would have been a nightmare for the Bucks. You want to talk about a team that would be cooked? A $33 million Chris Middleton, you were in far more worse shape. So, at a bare minimum, maybe Horst could have gotten more, but getting off of Middleton and getting into Kuzma and his descending salary was huge because the Bucks now have, for lack of a better word, options. Because now they can decide they could sign and trade Brook Lopez, who might not get a ton of money on the open market because of again the way the salary structure works in the NBA. But they could say, hey, we're going to sign you, we'll trade you another team immediately, we'll get a asset back. They can trade Dame if a team is looking to get off of a long-term contract. So I don't know the exact player, but there are players out there who are good players who could play basketball this year. Bradley Beal comes to mind.
Yeah.
I don't think Phoenix is in the we want to blow things up mode because I think they're still trying to they want to win enough because a lot of their picks are not theirs, so they don't want to be completely done.
We got a ton of second rounders.
But if you wanted to get off Bradley Beal and Bradley Beal has to waive his no trade clause, but it works in a trade machine. You could trade Dame's contract for Bradley Beal, then the contract length is the same.
But is anybody actually going to pick up Dame, though? That'd be my concern.
It'd be a team that wants just to reset. They would rather lose. So Phoenix isn't the team, but that Bradley Beal's the type of player.
Phoenix might just want to take a reset here at this point.
But they don't own their own picks.
Control their own picks, yeah.
So they don't want to.
Make it a three-team trade.
Everything I've read is that they don't want to blow the whole thing up. They want to keep Devin Booker around and keep him happy. So they don't want to bottom out. But Bradley Beal is the type of player. So you could get a player from a team that's trying to get out because what works in the Bucks' favor is the hard cap. The second apron is what it's talked about. Other teams who feel like they aren't good enough to win, especially if you're in the West. If you feel like you're the fifth best team in the West, quit. You got OKC, you got Golden State, you got all these teams in front of you that are more likely to win. So there might be teams that be like, pull the ripcord. I don't want to do with it anymore. Portland. Anthony Simon's name has popped up as a player. I don't know if his money matches. Maybe they take Dame back because they're like, we're not trying to win anyways. We'll take his money back. We get to then have a reason to tank, but then also in 2 years we have a $60 million hole in our cap that we can go spend money when we're ready to win again.
They like traded Dame on like good faith that they're like, hey, we know we're sitting a reset and we want you to have a shot at a championship, and then you send them back and which is them officially saying we're trying to tank. Doing Dame dirty a little bit.
Well, Dame likes Portland though. You bring him back. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think like the whole reason they were willing to trade Dame is because they saw the writing on the wall. They weren't going to be able to compete in the West, wanted to give Dame a crack at a title, and they knew that it wasn't going to be with them.
Right, but Dame has no cracks at a title anytime soon.
No.
I don't think the Bucks are going to keep him after. Like he'll pick up his option next year. I don't think the Bucks are going to want to keep him around, most likely. Do you want a 37-year-old Dame? I think you'd rather trade his expiring contract.
Yeah, I mean, unless Giannis is still here and he's like, I want to play with Dame again. That's the only reason.
And the hope is
him.
that the Bucks have players this year that Giannis is excited about.
And how are they going to do that? That's what in my mind always comes back. How are they going to make Giannis excited? Because you have a guy, John Horst, who just completely blundered this whole Pat Connaughton thing, really put your team in another crummy financial situation moving forward.
We're referencing the blunder in Pat Connaughton. Cliff notes, they were trying to pull a sign and trade off with the Kings for Bogdanovich. This
was back in
2020. They messed up the deal, and then they messed up the paperwork of Pat Connaughton because they thought they were going to trade him. But then when the contract they signed him to was a contract that they could sign and trade, but then when that trade fell through, they were stuck with a contract that was not void or not valid, so they had to basically add another year on the fly to make it all good. And that's this said year.
So now you're asking your superstar to not only come back to a team that you don't even know what this team is going to look like next year, and your superstar wants to continue to win titles that you are not going to be able to contend for because you don't know what your team is. Follow me along here in this circle that we're making right here, right? And then you want Giannis to be able to trust in John Horst, who just completely messed up this entire deal with Pat Connaughton. You want to be able to place your trust in him to build a team that's going to win titles. That's what you're expecting of Giannis, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're all expecting of Giannis to be able to come back.
At this point, I'm taking Giannis at his word. He says he's coming back.
But now, I love Giannis. I love Giannis as much as the next person. And I want Giannis to succeed. And if seeing Giannis win more titles isn't with the Bucks, but he's winning titles, great. I'm a Giannis fan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But, if you're Giannis, why would you come back to this?
Here's why.
It's messy.
844-770-3776. Carl Talking text line. Our side limited poll question is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks a final contender from the East? Because looking around, the teams that are most likely to be able to acquire him and win, they're out west. So now it's hard to win in the West, right? Like San Antonio. You could go there. Even with Giannis, San Antonio's probably the third or fourth most likely team to come out of the West. Maybe second. Depends, there's a little bit there. In the East, no Tatum, no Tyrese. And so now all of a sudden you're looking well, if I stay in the East at least for another season, I could say after this year maybe I don't want to, but maybe it's easier for me to win in the East. The teams that can acquire me right now are not good enough to win, except for maybe San Antonio, but they're in the West and they're so young, they might be a year or two away anyway, so are my chances really that much better? I can continue to play this out. If I re-sign with the Bucks, I get the most amount of money available to me. So those are the cases for staying. I'm not going to go to loyalty because I think, look, you're Pollyanna if you think Giannis is just hanging out because he's built different. He's being pragmatic, and if you looked at it with these injuries in the East, it's probably easier to win in the East. So if John Horst says, I'm burning the whole thing down, I will burn any asset we have, I will do whatever it is, and I will involve you in every move, that's why Giannis stays. I'm not saying that's the right move. I'm just saying that's why Giannis stays.
But I also, just looking at the East, though, I still think the Celtics are a good team.
They're trying to trade Jaylen Brown, though, because they're trying to get out from the hard cap.
I did hear about that.
And Drew Holiday. And Kristaps Porzingis.
They might be a mess if all those things happen.
But Boston's doing a smart thing. Right now, Boston's saying, hey,
they're using a reset year?
We can't win without Tatum. True. And if we get kind of what the Bucks just did, because they dipped below that hard cap second apron thing, you get more financial flexibility. Well, Boston can kind of try to fix on the fly and get some financial flexibility.
Yeah, I understand all the arguments for why you'd want to stay in the East, but
but that's not the question I'm asking. He says he wants to stay. I think at this point we got to take him at his word.
Okay, well, let's say the East is wide open. The Bucks somehow put a team together that's able to compete with a Knicks team with no head coach, a Pacers team without Halliburton, and a Celtics team without Tatum, and they play the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Even if they win, whoever comes out of the East next year is going to get their doors blown off by whoever comes out of the West.
Yeah, but if you get to the finals, at least you're giving yourself a chance.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so
I want Giannis back a lot. I do. I don't want any of my jerseys to become irrelevant. And I've got 2 Giannis jerseys.
You're wearing one right now.
1.5, I guess, according to Molly. But it's just, I don't see a way for Horst to be able to put a team together that's even good enough to get to the Eastern Conference Finals,
so,
even with these teams and their injuries.
On the other side, ESPN put together some trade options that the Bucks could do to build around Giannis. They also had options of trading Giannis, but we could focus on the ones to build around Giannis. This was from about a week ago, and we can see of how they could do it. And then this would be obviously paired with other moves the Bucks can make with free agency. Because they do have some money that they can get a pretty decent free agent on a 1-year deal. So they have some money. Gary Trent Jr. If you looked at the Pacers, I'll just look at it Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter with the Pacers. I'm sorry, Pascal Siakam is good. He's not, and the Bucks don't have him quite yet. But the rest of the guys, Porter is a very young player. Maybe he jumps.
Yeah.
There are players, and if you build the team, now the question would be, can Doc build a team around Giannis that clicks in the way that Indiana clicked to be all the way around Indiana? So basically, obviously, Indiana said Tyrese Halliburton makes the whole thing go, which is why I don't think Tyrese Halliburton or Jalen Brunson, if you look at those offenses, are elite, superstar players, because they have to have a very specific offense for them to be able to be the players that they are.
Yeah.
And Giannis, you could play anywhere. Durant, all those guys can play anywhere. Giannis, if you build an offense around him, maybe he's a guy that can put it all together. And if you don't trade Dame, maybe you get him back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got a chance. You got a chance.
Then it goes back to does the trainer let Dame play?
I was just thinking that. Does he feel the pressure to play now? Is he placing the pressure on himself?
We'll ask that question again a year from today. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
But I've never seen the movie either.
I've only seen
Really?
Yeah, I had no interest in the movie.
Oh my gosh, the movie is terrible. Terribly awesome. Did you just touch my butt, Dewey? I know your tricks, Dewey. What? I quote that all the time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. The Cheese Capital Cup is next on June 27th through the 29th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
It's heating up at Metro Kia of Madison with their summer sticker sales event. Drive home the all-new 2025 Kia Sportage with 1.9% APR for 60 months, $1,748 cost per thousand finance. Hurry, this offer ends June 30th. Plus, if you own a current Kia EV or PHEV, you may qualify for an extra $1,000 loyalty bonus toward a 2025 EV6 or 2026 EV9. These sizzling deals won't last. Offers end July 7th. Head to Metro Kia of Madison today or browse their inventory at metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hi, this is Lee.
inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie. Hey Madison, this is Jim from Jim, Matt, and Molly. For the third year in a row, we've been nominated for Best of Madison Radio Team by Madison Magazine.
This year, we need your help to take home the gold in Best of Madison.
They say people like us, so show it and vote at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Voting is open now, so don't wait. Head to madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
That's madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Thanks, Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
So this is someone that always keeps things close to the vest.
Oh.
This is someone that always does things in quiet.
Oh.
So I'm sure there are conversations going on right now that we don't even know about around Giannis Antetokounmpo and his camp. And I guess when there's going to be something to talk about, or maybe not something to talk about, we'll have something more definitive to talk about. But until then, I think the focus right now is what can Milwaukee do to make this team better.
That was Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee Show earlier today. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge, and Matt Hamilton hanging out with you today. But want to give you a little reminder about Made 'em Believe, which is happening this Thursday, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater. Bo Ryan, Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky, Josh Gosser, and Ben Bruss all reunite to relive all of the best moments from 10 years ago from their magical run in 2015. You can get your tickets to the event at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. Oh, and
She's
Jim
Molly
Rutledge.
Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. I'm going to have to ask
Your
you on the air.
headphones died?
Yeah, they're like, I think I ripped out the plug for them, so I just need a different one over there. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. And we do have a Siding Unlimited poll question. Is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks a final contender in the East? You can chime in on that 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. This is more. I'm going to run through some possible trades for you guys as well, because there are ways the Bucks can win, but it is going to take some faith that the Bucks will keep Giannis for a while, because if you do this and you don't have your picks, you are really done. The Adam Madison chimes in. Rumor has it that OKC may move off Caruso and some others to clear money for SGA, Supermax. Caruso and Dort to the Bucks would make me pretty happy. That would be great. They do help a little bit. I'm going to run through some ESPN proposed trades, and we can kind of just tell me if you like, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down on it. So this was put together on ESPN. I'm trying to see who put it. Bobby Marks put it together. Bobby Marks worked in the NBA under the Brooklyn Nets for a while, so he is a former NBA exec. So this one is pretty, I'm going to go with the easiest to understand for casual NBA fans here. The Bucks would get Bradley Beal from the Suns, Royce O'Neal from the Suns, who is a power forward who would be immediately their starting power forward. Or maybe, he's 6'6", but he's a power forward. 9-5, doesn't play a ton of minutes, so like you could see a guy that could get closer to like 12 and 6 boards per game. He is a starter. He is a starter. He is a good player, and he could be a good player on a championship level team. So that's who would be coming, and they would also get a 2025 first round pick from the Suns. That's number 29, pick number 29.
For what?
For Pat Connaughton and Dame. Again, this is Phoenix basically saying we want out.
Yeah.
We need to reset our books, and we are willing to take on bad contracts because in 2 years, we'll have a ton of money to spend again.
Man, I would feel like we just fleeced Phoenix for that.
Yeah,
Personally.
Bradley Beal, how much do you believe in him playing? He also would have to waive the no trade. He averaged 17 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists last year, shooting 50% from the field.
So what is he, your third guy?
Yeah.
On this Bucks
for
team,
the Bucks,
Beal's your
what does it
number
look like? Well, I know that's what that's what's hard, right? Is I'm trying to figure
So,
out.
if you did this team, it would be, and I don't know exactly who's at point. I guess Kevin Porter Jr., Bradley Beal, and then you have Gary Trent Jr., Giannis, and Royce O'Neal. That's your starting 5.
I don't know if any trade though is going to get me excited.
I like it better than the current starting 5.
So the
Fair.
next one here is Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson coming
I
to
liked
the
him a
Cam
couple years
Johnson.
ago.
He was and actually came from Phoenix in the Durant trade. Kyle Kuzma, the 2031 first round pick, and a 2032 first round swap to the Nets for Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson is a guy that'd be more of a true, legit, pretty great player at 29 years old. He's a guy that averaged 19 points a game last year, and is a guy that can get some boards, score some points, and is not going to be a true second running mate, but he's an upgrade over Kyle Kuzma. You have to fill in the rest of your roster, but Cam Johnson is he's probably, with the Bucks, he could be an all-star player next year.
So it's basically the Bucks giving up their last remaining first-round pick to upgrade Kyle Kuzma.
Yep.
Okay. Matt, Molly?
Sorry.
I was just going to say, the problem with that is you still have to fill out more of this team. You can't do it with just the 2 of them.
It's worth noting that Cam shoots 39% from 3. This trade then would keep Dame, so then either this postseason or the next year, if Giannis stays, then all of a sudden you have Dame, Cam Johnson, and Giannis, and that's a team you could maybe win with. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm biased, but I feel like I remember Cam Johnson being pretty good when the Bucks won the finals because he was on Phoenix when the Bucks beat them.
Yep.
And he did pretty good
I
from
believe
what I
at the
remember.
time he came off the bench, though.
Yeah.
He was like the 5th or 6th option for them.
But I still remember him.
You remember? Yeah, true.
And I feel like if I remember you, that means you left at least the last
So
pack.
the first trade with the
important-
Suns felt like it was that trade's done, and now we have a fairly legitimate starting 5. This one, I don't feel the same way. As much as Cam Johnson is an upgrade from Kyle Kuzma, it doesn't seal the deal on your roster building for the summer. You know what I mean?
So we're asking you, Siding Limited
It's not
poll
a
question.
one-stop shop.
Is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks a final contender from the East? 844. That's our Siding Limited poll question. 844-770-3776. Call the talk and text line. List is more. The last trade here from the ESPN Bobby Marks is a little bit convoluted. The Bucks would end up with Wendell Carter Jr., who I would say it's not apples to apples, but he is a younger version and can be your Brook Lopez. He's not terrible from 3. For a lot of his career, he shot over 30% from 3. For most of his career, he's like a 10-7 guy. He's a center, so he gives you a big.
Yeah.
And so he's one guy. This is from Orlando. Then you would also get Jet Howard from Orlando. You would know him most from his days at Michigan. He's also Juwan Howard's son. He's a 6'6" shooting guard. He hasn't put up a ton of stats, but he hasn't been in the league long, and he was a former first-round pick. So that's one of those of like, hey, we're going to bet on some talent here. And then you have one that would be your starting point guard, I would assume. That's Ayo Dosunmu, who played at Illinois, who now plays for the Bulls, who averages about 12 points, 4 rebounds, and almost 5 assists per game and a steal. And he's a guy that is a good player. He's just the Bulls have Josh Giddey, they have Kobe White, and they have Alonzo Ball. So like they're kind of loaded up at that point guard position. What you would send out is really not much. Kyle Kuzma and Andre Jackson Jr. goes to the Bulls along with a second-round pick. Orlando gets Pat Connaughton, Jalen Smith, and Javon Carter. Those guys come from the Bulls. They also get the 2031 first-round pick from the Bucks, and then a 2032 first-round pick swap.
So I think the Bucks' best chance is trying to get a 3-team trade done or a multi-team trade done because, not one team is really going to have all the options you need, but that means you're going to have to convince 2 organizations that everyone's getting better. You know what I mean? So it seems like the biggest long shot, but I think I like that trade the best.
It feels just like a lot of bodies.
Right. It's just too many working pieces in that one.
You're just adding...
I'd like to find a trade like the Knicks and the Timberwolves had where both teams got better, the Cat and Julius Randle trade.
Okay, those are also really good players that you're trading.
The Bucks don't have
these
a
are all
Julius Randle
no-name
or
dudes.
Cat.
But what I'm saying is they both made trades and they both got better that season because of their moves.
Would you want...
They both
I would
made
love
it pretty
to find
far in
one
the...
other team that... Yeah, exactly. I'd like to find one other team that also has what we need. And right now, based on those 3, it's that Suns trade that gives you
that's the
not
least
the best
likely.
pieces, but it's the one that hits all the check marks.
And that one's the least likely now because this was published before the Durant trade, and it seems like after the Durant trade, depends what the Suns do with Dylan. Now, Dylan Brooks is someone that maybe the Bucks could figure out how to get to Milwaukee. He's not a star.
I feel like I've heard he's pretty toxic in the locker room, though. Isn't that him?
No, he's a badass.
He's toxic to LeBron James.
Yeah, he's PJ Tucker, but younger and better. So he's got that kind of badass attitude. Like he's
LeBron
a guy that would
James
actually,
stopper.
he was a guy that would bring some fire, some dog to the Bucks, which they need. We did have someone chime in, so I guess I'll ask this quickly: 844-770-3776, Carl's Talking text line. I mean, you'd rather have a couple? You'd rather have 3/4 than 75 cents, like a 7, or you know what I mean, like it's not the 75-cent piece.
The one that I liked the best was a 3-team trade. It just seemed the most unlikely.
So, but my point is, you don't want Cam Johnson. You don't want one guy who could be 75 cents on the dollar. You'd rather have 3/4 at 75 cents on the dollar.
I think so because there's more than one piece needed. So I think in that situation, yeah.
Molly?
I don't know. None of these trades seem... I mean, obviously, none of them seem fun. None of them seem great because, like I said, it just feels like you're just getting bodies. But
if I was looking at it, the Magic one makes the most sense. You just don't know the names. But Wendell Carter and Ayo are 2 instant starters, and Jet Howard it's a flyer on talent. And so, that one makes some sense. And then all of a sudden, and the money's you get off some money too.
Yeah.
So. The other thing you could chime in, I want to throw this out. Stin, the Badger Equipment alum, said, bring back Drew. Absolutely not. I don't want Drew touched with a 10-foot pole.
Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Why?
He was horrible last year, and he makes an ungodly amount of money. He makes $32 million next year, $35 million the following year, and $37 million a year after that. And Drew Holiday fell off a cliff last year, going from 43% to 35% in three-point shooting, going from 48% to 44% from the field, dropping in minutes, scoring 11 points, having the lowest lowest rebound total he's had in a long time, and the lowest assist rate he's had in a long time as well. Drew Holiday is a albatross you do not want around the Milwaukee Bucks.
That has nothing to do with the fact that the Celtics had a lot of good players and had options.
I mean, when they had a lot of good players the year before and they won the title, he had one of his best years. So, no.
Okay.
You do not want Drew Holiday. He's old, too.
He's 35.
He's like the finishing touch on a championship team right now, mainly for his defense. And the Bucks need defense, offense, passing.
And I don't even know if he's a finishing touch on a championship team because a championship team can't afford him. He's one of those players that's just going to – he's probably going to end up being on a bad team.
If he went to the Rockets right now, they would welcome him.
They won't – they can't take him. My point is that, because of the new hard cap, Drew Holiday is going to end up getting dumped to, the Wizards. and they're going to have an old-ass team
Reunite
with Chris
with
Middleton. Yeah, and the team's going to be terrible.
Hey.
And the team's
Trade
going to...
Giannis there.
Yeah.
Could you
what?
imagine?
For what?
Does Jordan Poole still
For
play
Middleton and Holiday.
God, you want Jordan Poole? Like, the Wizards, honestly, like, yeah, they could get that, and then they could be like the play-in game.
Did Jordan Poole drop off a cliff after him and Draymond got into a fight?
No, he's just not good at. He's just a guy that can.
I feel like he disappeared.
He can score empty calorie buckets. Like if you want to not win a lot of games and have someone score you some points, sure. The Warriors are one of those teams in the NBA where like if the Warriors don't want that guy, you don't want him. And because the Warriors like get out of here. You don't know how to play actual team basketball. You know how to score points, and that's it. And if you can't score points on a winning team, you're kind of pointless. There are so many players. The NBA is full. The NBA is full of players who can score a lot of points on bad teams.
Was that pun intended? Did you catch that?
No, yeah, pointless. No, but you are pointless.
Scored a lot of points, but you're pointless.
You are. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Vote every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at StarionBank.com. Member FDIC.
A court case that could shape the future of college athletics is upon us. As Friday afternoon, it was reported by Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports that the University of Wisconsin has officially filed a lawsuit against the University of Miami for tampering and eventually poaching cornerback Xavier Lucas, who is under contract with the Badgers. The case's timetable is still uncertain, but regardless, it's safe to say Wisconsin will be at the forefront of history in this new era of college sports.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at madisonmagazine.com.
Oh yeah, round and round they go. I get around, still clown with the underground when we come around. Around and round they go.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Baum, primetime Warshawn behind the glass. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question out there for everyone. Is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks a final contender out of the East? 59% of you say yes. The Mad City amputee chimes in, if healthy. I don't know who he meant by if Giannis is healthy. Sure. William Berger chimes in, Giannis is a beast, but they need more consistency from the supporting cast. Then gives a shout out to someone about depth matters and more than people think. Absolutely, the Bucks aren't going to have depth. So this would be one of those old school years where you're going to have to rely on Giannis to be the guy and carry you all the way through. So you can chime in on that. We're asking that question because Tyrese Halliburton went down with an Achilles injury and is missing all of this season. Jason Tatum from the Celtics down with an Achilles injury, missing all of this next season. And Dame Lillard on the Bucks is down with an Achilles injury. But he is a tradable asset. So the Bucks, I think if they have any shot to do anything this year, they have to trade Dame's contract and get a body that can play basketball. Do we agree with that sentiment?
A body that can play basketball. You're not right.
All right, I'll take the NBA minimum, and I'll go play basketball for the Bucks.
Yeah, you can play basketball.
I would be on the court.
I don't know if you're ever 7 foot on the court, my God.
No, that's a good point.
We add that to the list of things that Matt Hamilton can't do.
Can't do.
He thinks he can dunk on Giannis.
All right, so here, I'll just throw this out.
That would require me getting to the rim.
First, thanks to Ryan, the psychedelic advisor, says, I don't think Jim was trying to give a pun. That was just pure poetry straight off the dome. Appreciate that. All right, here's a 10. Can't score points on a winning team. You're kind of pointless. The 10 worst contracts in all of basketball. And this is from Spotrac. Bradley Beal, Jordan Poole. So do any of these players?
All these players that you want, you just said could come to the Bucks.
I don't want Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is an absolute no. But if any of these tickle your fancy, you just let me know. Bradley Beal.
I did like the whole camera thing that he did a couple years ago.
How about as a basketball player?
No.
Okay.
The camera thing. What are you even talking about?
He was trying to say that there was a foul on LeBron that wasn't called, and he literally took a camera from a fan who got it and walked it up to the ref to show it to him.
Okay.
I think he got teed up for it.
Jordan Poole?
No.
No.
Zach LaVine?
Okay.
He's like a poor man's Chris Middleton. He scores a lot of points.
Just what I want. Poor
and
man's Chris
Middleton.
No, I mean
and he's a dunk champion.
I mean Chris Middleton when he was good.
Okay.
Just a little less defense, probably.
Probably, but he's never been on a winning team. I don't think it's his fault. He's 23 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 51%. He shoots above 35%.
How old
Where is he now?
He's in Sacramento, and
he just got traded to
age,
Sacramento this last year.
From the
30.
Bulls or something?
He's only
From the
30.
Bulls.
Okay.
He's 30?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought only 30.
I don't know. I felt like he hasn't been around that long.
Andrew Wiggins.
No.
God, I'm old.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins was good.
Was good. Andrew Wiggins is reacquiring the.
But all these
Andrew
people
Wiggins
is was
good in a system. He was terrible on the Log Dogs.
Zach LaVine is a good player. He never fits anyone's timeline. So I would take Zach LaVine off this list. I'm not taking Jordan Poole. I really don't want Bradley Beal. I really don't want Andrew Wiggins. Chris Middleton's corpse, nope. Basketball corpse.
R.I.P. Chris.
Jeremy Grant, no.
I don't even know who that
Portland,
is.
Yeah.
Portland Trailblazers, he's 30.
Related to Ryan Grant? I'd be it.
No. He's a wing. He's not terrible, but I don't really want it. Draymond Green, no. Doesn't fit the timeline. Vucevic from the Bulls, no. Doesn't fit their needs. Cat, no.
Yeah, that doesn't
and then
work.
obviously Dame's on this list too. So
There's what, 2 people on the list that we would take?
I'd say Zach.
One?
That's probably it.
Yeah, I like LaVine
If you
too.
can somehow get Zach LaVine and you can include Dame's contract into it, like you got a guy who can score off his own dribble.
And that that was a list of the worst contracts in the NBA.
Yep.
What is Zach LaVine's contract? Does it say?
It's gone now. I deleted it, but we're gonna go to break. But it's something like, I mean, he's around $40 million to $45 million a year. It doesn't like that part doesn't matter. The Bucks have to take a bad contract if you're gonna get rid of Dame. You have to take on a bad contract. There's more years, more dollars on it than Dame's. But he's only 30.
Yeah, that's fair.
His
I think I'd take that one.
Here's you know why his contract is bad. It goes back to he signed it before the second apron came into place, and so it's just a bloated contract. Because now when players hit free agency, the best free agents right this year might get $25 to $30 million because there's no teams that have any money. Before they implemented the second apron, when LaVine signed, he's getting closer to like 40, 45. So it's like he's getting paid a ton of money, and he's a all-star player, but he's getting paid like an MVP. But he's still a good player.
Yeah.
It's just more his contract is the problem. The rest of the guys are just bad or old or both. I mean, Draymond Green is still elite, but what are the Bucks going to do with him?
I don't think he's ever leaving Golden State.
Didn't he come in second in that defensive player of the year?
Bad. It was like he said he wasn't going to fit for the Bucks. It was negative.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say not for the Bucks. What are they going to do with him?
Honestly, any team but the Warriors does Draymond work.
Well, maybe. I'm just saying that, like, why would you acquire an aging player? Like, that player is the player that screams at late in their career that just never.
Imagining an offense led by Giannis and Draymond. That would just be like football, basketball.
High energy.
Well, no, Draymond is a great passer.
True.
Like, you could run the offense through him. He is a great passer.
But is anyone going to shoot over 35%?
Right, that's the problem. No one's making any buckets, and there's no floor spacing.
There's
so,
no
like, that's the problem.
No stuff to pass the ball to.
All right, this is Jim Matt Mob, presented by Coors Light.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this year's Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. The Milwaukee Brewers bats roared to life this weekend as they swept the Twins in Minnesota. Brewers offense in the series generated 35 runs, 47 hits, and a .402 team batting average. And also every member of the lineup recorded at least one hit in Sunday's 9-8 win for the Brewer crew. This comes as the Brewers are also hitting their stride over the last month. In the last 32 games, the Brewers are 22-10, good for a .688 winning percentage. That's also the best record in baseball over that span. Brewers now sit a season high 8 games over 500 at 43-35, and just 3.5 games behind the Cubs for the top spot in the NL Central. They're also still 12.5 games ahead of the last place Pirates, who the Brewers welcome to AmFam Field tonight for a 3-game series. Right-handed pitcher Chad Patrick is slated to start for the Brewer crew with first pitch at 6:40. Pre-game coverage starts immediately after Jim, Matt, and Molly right here on 100.5 ESPN. And then on Wednesday, the big one, the matchup, Jacob Mizorowski versus Paul Skeens of the Pirates, 1:10 p.m. first pitch this Wednesday.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
we're learning a lot about each other.
That's why the Brewers are so careful with Big Miz.
2-2, swing and a miss, and Contreras goes down on strikes. First big league K for Jacob Mizorowski.
Big Miz? Now he's Big Miz.
He's always been Big Miz.
The
6'7".
6'7" is big.
No, big, tall, yes, but he's not like.
But also like on a ball.
He's not girthy.
Sometimes long works, sometimes girthy works. Ideally both, but like
broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime will shine behind the glass in the Everlight Solar Studio. We were talking Milwaukee Bucks basketball earlier. You can chime in on our Siding Limited poll question, 844-770-3776. We asked you, with the injuries to Dame, which hurts the Bucks, but Tatum and Halliburton, is having Giannis enough to make the Bucks finals contenders out of the East right now? 59% of you say yes. 844-770-3776. The Carlos Talking text line. List is more. Congratulations, Oklahoma City, on winning that title. They still are one of, I think, the top 10 teams of all time as far as most amount of wins in a season. Shea did something that hasn't been done since Michael Jordan, which is win a scoring title, win an MVP in the regular season, and win a finals MVP. Them winning the title also sets them up for greatness, which is why I wanted them to win. Like Indiana won, it was going to be a one-off. They weren't getting back. It was an aberration type year. We all felt that, which is fine. But like Oklahoma City is young. They have financial flexibility, and they could be back again.
They still have control of some of their own draft picks.
Yeah, they have 4 draft picks in next year's draft. 4 first-round picks in next year's draft. Like that team.
Crazy.
Like I just love competent GMs and owners and all that being rewarded, and the opportunity for greatness. And by them winning, we have an opportunity to see greatness.
I mean, yeah, the Thunder, their coach won Coach of the Year last year. Their GM won GM of the Year this year. Like, they're an incredible organization. It's also crazy to me just thinking about the players that
Mark
have come
Dagnall
from...
and who's the Sam Presti.
Yeah. It's also crazy just thinking about the players that have gone through OKC and seeing that was their first championship that they ever won was last night. Wild. I thought that was so crazy watching that.
All right, I want to get to some other stuff from the weekend that Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, I think it's called Summer Smash in Chicago or something like that. He was at basically a big festival. He was hanging out there. He was hanging out there with some top Bulls players. He was hanging out there in Chicago. Some artists brought him on stage. Like he was kind of just living his life, which good for him. By all accounts, up until this week, he had been basically living in Hallis Hall and had not done anything the entire summer. So there's nothing going on anymore. The Packers, if Jordan Love goes out and does, I mean, what was it, last year? Was it him on the boat with his friends? Yeah, like, you do your thing.
The receivers.
Was it last year or 2 years ago? Regardless, though.
Probably last year because it was his rookie year last year.
You're out having fun. So there's nothing really out of that comes up. But there is some, I don't know, a little juice added to the rivalry between the Packers and the Bears because Caleb Williams, as the Bears quarterback, is 1-1 against the Packers. I would believe, if I'm thinking of this right, the point differential in these games are identical as far as the Packers won by, I don't know if they won by 3 or whatever, but like obviously the Packers won by blocking an extra point at Soldier Field that would have won the game for the Bears. That Caleb Williams led a fourth quarter and got them in position. The Packers blocked it. They get the win. Caleb goes to Lambeau, leads another fourth quarter comeback. This time the kick goes up and in. So essentially same type of game, but he adds a little juice to it. Against NFC North opponents, statistically, he was better against NFC North opponents than Jordan Love, and they both had one win against NFC North opponents. So there's a little bit of juice now to the rivalry.
The margin is 1 point in favor of the Chicago Bears.
All right, so there you go. So then he gets the check mark this year. He hasn't lost to the Green Bay Packers in the calendar year. He's never lost to the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. So there's a little bit of fun to this. But let's hear Caleb Williams this was at Fanatics Fest on Friday.
I'll be at Green Bay. I mean, they suck, but it was after the game, after we won at Lambeau, at Lambeau right now. So obviously you try and do the Lambeau leap, and we actually tried to jump in the crowd where our fans were, and they start throwing everything at you, they push you off, and the Lambeau leap, it's a real leap. It's not a little baby jump. You actually have to high jump basically, and then they're pushing you, mushing your face.
So there's that.
Mushing your face.
There is that.
Take that, Caleb.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Which was surprising because I thought the Packers were somewhat gracious of fans coming in, or players jumping in, but not in this case. You did just win the game.
I think so.
No. Packer fans love pushing the other team out of the stands.
I'm also pretty sure that, wasn't it Aaron Jones or somebody last year that got like beers poured on them?
Well,
like,
the beer is one thing, but the touching of the players is a different thing. I don't mind you throw beer on them, but you shouldn't be pushing their face.
I think throwing beer on somebody's worse than just being like, hey, get out of here.
Off.
Don't touch me. Throw beer. Like, I jump in there, I'm in uniform, I deserve the beer thrown on me, don't touch me. Because I can't touch you. Like, if you you get all tough.
You're literally jumping into them.
I think
what do you mean you can't touch them?
I think Caleb made a good point of where he's like, you're high jumping into those stands, and if somebody's pushing you down, you fall off like abruptly, like you could hurt yourself.
Yeah, like when I watch it and I see people throwing beer on the guys, I'm like, that's no harm, no foul. Pushing someone down or trying to be aggressive with them.
Beer spilled on them.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Like,
so the beer thing.
Unintentional.
Okay. I feel like there's definitely been where there's clips of people literally pouring beers, and then
again,
we're all saying that that's horrible.
No, I've never said. I'm pour beer on someone. I'm fine with it. Trying to push or touch the players, get out of here. But let's get to.
I'm not on both
with beer.
Summer Smash, which is a music festival in Bridgeview, Illinois. He was at that, and there was a chant going on there. It's at Summer Smash as well.
Green Bay! Green Bay! Green Bay! Green Bay! Green Bay!
My ears.
Green Bay! Green Bay!
And you can see that on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. And, of course, notoriously, Packer fans have no legs to stand on after Clay Matthews had to start the NFL draft with Bears Still Suck chants. So all fan bases, including led by either future Hall of Famer or current Hall of Famer Clay Matthews, are salty. So there's no leg to stand on of,
but
like...
we've got to... that is a chant that's been around for a long time. That was just, low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
No?
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still salty.
Sure.
So, I want this question, because Caleb's out there right now. He's being the villain. He is, in my lifetime, the only other player that kind of loosely did this was Brian Urlacher, which has been a long time ago, talking trash in this rivalry from Chicago to Green Bay. More than one time. When he was drafted, he ripped the Packers. When he was at some coffee thing, people did Green Bay sucked or whatever it is, and he jumped into it. So he is owning this rivalry. Do I really think he has these ill feelings? No. I think he is just playing the heel, and he's jumping into the rivalry, and I am here for it because it doesn't affect his play. He obviously is clearly not a guy overwhelmed by the moment. He led multiple fourth-quarter comebacks last year. He needs to play a lot better, but he's not going to be afraid to talk a little trash and hopefully back it up on the field. So I am excited that if he plays 30% better next year, this rivalry is, and they go 1-1 against each other, this rivalry is full tilt. Because if he plays 30% better, they're probably pretty close to the Packers as far as record, and now we got something going on. But I enjoy it. I haven't seen it interfere with his play. I haven't seen him do anything dumb on the field. In fact, I've only seen him, he makes rookie mistakes, but when the pressure was on, he didn't fold. And so I enjoy it. Maybe he falls flat on his face, but you know what? Jake Cutler, Mitch Trubisky, and Justin Fields fell flat on their face, and they were quiet as church mouses in this whole rivalry. So fall on your face and just fall out. So I'm for it. But do you want 844-770-3776? Carl's Talking Text line. Less is more. And this isn't even specific to, it doesn't have to be specific to Caleb Williams. But here's what we got. Caleb Williams said this weekend that the Packer fans suck. As a Packer fan, do you want Jordan Love to talk more trash?
That's my guy right there.
You can tie it to Caleb Williams or not, but do you want him to talk more trash?
Jordan Love can talk trash when he plays way better than what he already does. When Jordan Love is good enough, he can talk trash. And I know that we've talked about it. You've said that you think that he's a good quarterback.
Yes, without a doubt. We know his floor. His floor is good quarterback.
And I am still he's fine. I'm good with him. To me, he hasn't played up to what his contract is yet. So
that's what I was going to ask you. So what do you mean by play better? Is it because you're looking at him as a guy who's entering his 6th year in the league? That means his 6th year with the same head coach, 6th year with the same offense, 6th year in Green Bay as a professional, his 3rd season as a starter. You want better numbers, and you want him to look like a guy who is a 2-year
I want him to look like a guy that's getting paid $55 million, right?
Okay, so the contract is part of it too then.
100,000%.
So then he needs to look like a top 5 QB.
He needs to look like a top 5 QB, yes. And he needs to do that for a long time. And honestly, let's even say that a long time is 3 years. He needs to play consistently at that level for 3 years, and then he can be good enough to talk trash. With the Bears, it's a little different with Caleb Williams, because I do think that there's something to be said that he is a breath of fresh air for Chicago, or what we're predicting him to be is to be this new guy that is going to take this team to the next level, hopefully for the Bears' sake. That in a way, and I think what you're saying is he can have that cockiness, he can have that attitude and play into the rivalry to make it more exciting because he is expected to be that guy, right?
I guess and I'm not going to say I have a problem with Caleb Williams. I just would say, Jim has said this a million times, you are under the microscope in Chicago. You have media that will turn on you if you give them a reason to. So to me, especially in a market like that, if you're talking trash, and let's say he doesn't get 30% better this year, maybe he does the exact same thing he did last year, and they did split, and right now Chicago does have the point differential in their 2 games.
Point differential definitely
But
jumped.
let's say they lose both their games next year, and then off season Caleb's doing this again. How would you feel about it? Would you be like, oh, it's for the rivalry, or would you be like, you haven't really earned that quite yet?
It depends. If
you got the first win against Matt LaFleur and the Packers
it really
in
depends.
11 games.
If the Bears win 8 games and they go from 5 to 8 wins, and Caleb
I'm
goes,
saying same. He looks the same. They get 5 wins again.
Then obviously. But I don't. But here's the thing: he could keep his mouth completely zipped. He puts up the same numbers. I'm just as mad. I'm not extra mad because he talked trash. Because they don't have any correlation.
No, but it adds fuel to the fire. It's like, hey, guy, if you're gonna play like that,
but
I'm upset about it, and then you're doing this on top of it. That doesn't add to it.
Only to him, if he can handle it.
Well, I mean,
if he looks like a guy
if,
who's flustered in post-game press conference when he's pushed on these things or gets bothered in the games, then I'll be bothered. But otherwise, this is a guy that won a Heisman Trophy. This is a guy who's had a bullseye on his back, was the number 1 recruit out of high school, going to Oklahoma, then USC, wins a Heisman Trophy there, has a down season, but still a season better than most players put up in college football. And in his rookie year, he still had 4,000 total yards, including rushing, 20 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, completed 63% of his passes. It's not like he was Mitch Trubisky or Justin Fields. In fact, he put up one of the top 3 seasons in Bears quarterback history. Now, that's not a high bar, but like he could get 20% better, and his numbers are going to be tracking the right way, especially as a guy goes from rookie to second year. Here's why here's the part that you're not in the minutia for, which I understand, is that Ben Johnson and everyone around that building has said Caleb has basically lived football this entire, so he is putting in the work. Other clips from that thing say, yeah, Ben Johnson's been a jerk to me the entire offseason, and I love it. I only want to get better. So these are the inflammatory quotes. When you put it to the other quotes where he's like, I want to be coached even harder. I want to be pushed even farther. Like, those are the quotes that, to me, and you wouldn't know those, like, but that's why I like him adding, like, to your point, he adds fuel to the fire of the rivalry, but he's also saying plenty of things to Bears fans and out and about saying that I am committed and I want to be coached hard. So you're not going to see that, which makes these quotes even more fun because you're only going to see the inflammatory stuff. Right. But then Bear fans see the quotes where he's like, no, I'm basically living in Chicago and living at Hallis Hall all the time trying to get better.
So I guess for me, as bringing it back to like Jordan Love, I'm 100% with Molly. Like, I feel like if you're going to talk trash, you got to earn that right.
Okay.
And not to, like you said, you rattled off some numbers from Caleb Williams last year. That's a good rookie season. Do I think it was with a and
Jane
I understand
Daniels
the coach
better,
saying
and he wasn't the first overall pick. Yeah,
5-win team. Like, did you earn that right to? I do like that.
is going into his third year as a starter, his sixth year in the league. It's something of like, maybe you don't need to swing down. Caleb's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to put himself out there. It's also, here's the biggest reason why, and we'll go to break on this, is for me, it's not who Jordan Love is.
Right.
Caleb Williams, his entire career is talk trash. Caleb Williams has put himself out there his entire career. He paints his fingernails. He's painted bleep you, like the school, or F that school on his fingernails. He has cried in the stands with his mom. He has been open up, like he carries around a pink phone. He's talks trash to fans on social media. Like, he embraces all of it, and he seems like someone who thrives on it. Jordan Love, it would, one, seem phony, and two, I feel like would backfire. So that's why if I'm a Packer fan, I don't want Jordan Love to talk trash, because that's not who he is.
Seems right.
Antonio Freeman talked way more trash in his game.
Yeah.
He was an okay receiver. He acted like he was Jerry Rice.
Pretty good.
He was okay.
He was pretty good.
Look up the stats. He was okay. This is Jim Matt and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It was the nastiest looking hot dog I think I've ever seen in my life. It was like beige with like mustard squirted like in random spots.
It is like a Jackson Pollock painting with the mustard just all over the place. Matt claims to be an Olympic athlete, and he can't properly squeeze out mustard in a straight line.
Yeah, no, not great.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out.
Installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAenergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty,